episode 46 of the God fucking. That's my pasta, everybody, because I'm super hungry. But this is episode 46. This is Vaughn. I'm gonna get my pasta.
Joey, Adrian,
Chris.
We don't have a leader. What are we gonna do?
Oh,
Someone keep talking, please.
I'm kind of just a rogue,
so
it's fine.
I saw that you've been playing Skyrim.
Oh, dude. I was playing Skyrim. I'm done.
I've hit so many.
You finished it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
What were you doing in it?
Everything.
Oh, you did everything?
I did. I'm done. Platinumed it. Done.
You're a fucking liar.
How fast?
Huh?
How fast?
I finished it up today. Took me about a week. Well, 5 days. Do you want to know the secret, Joey? Blocking.
What?
Blocking.
Blocking?
Blocking.
I just used Muffle over and over again until I got to level 50.
That's,
Literally endless.
That seemed like it was very poor decision.
So what'd you do?
No, super fast. Super fast.
How describe super fast to me. What is super fast to you?
2 levels every 7 minutes. Like 2 actual levels every 7 minutes.
From what point are you? Because I mean, at some point it has to taper off and extend past 2 levels, like every 7 minutes.
Between 40 and 50, it was like 2 levels every 7 minutes.
Between 40 and 50.
Yeah.
Oh, that's impressive. I was similar. I had, I'd say, roughly about 10 minutes. I just sat in White Run and pissed off all the guards, and then just made them line up on the wall. Well, line up in front of me while I sat on the wall with the shield, and I just let them hit me. Until my shield got to 100, my blocking got to 100, and then I just made it legendary, and then just kept doing that over and over and over. And then I was just like... I was also one-handed, because why would you do anything that's not one-handed?
Dude, archery is where it's at.
Dude, no, it's not.
Yeah, dude, sneak with archery.
Dude, that sounds terrible.
Did you get to platinum?
We're done here. We're done here.
So that was that.
I will be taking that back tomorrow. I am finished. I'm finito Mussolini with that game. Like that. So, yeah. Dude, I finally got all the words to Elemental Fury, though. Like, right when I got my platinum, I was super fucking mad. Because I got, like, 2 of them, but last time when I played it on the 360, I did the same thing. One-handed, Elemental Fury, it breaks the game. You max out how quickly you can swing your maces, and then use Elemental Fury, the game will stop, and whatever you're trying to hit will die. And then the game will resume, because the game just cannot
literally didn't do anything.
It cannot calculate. Oh, no, it's the same exact game. And somebody said, like, anybody picked it up, like, I am beyond the point of, like, trying to find a redeeming quality. Like, obviously, it's a good game, was a good game, but, like, they didn't do anything. That was a port, bro. That wasn't, they didn't, fuck the shadows, the shading.
Shaders.
Fuck the shaders, dude. That's all they did. They didn't rework any of the textures, anything. There's still patches of dirt that are just, like, brown and green flecks that I'm assuming were supposed to be some kind of grass. Like, unless they have the actual tall grass, it's just not a thing. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's like, I don't know. I get it. Like, it's a massive game, so to do a full remaster would be kind of difficult, I guess. But at the same time, don't kind of advertise it as such, A, and B, like, how long were they working on it? Because if they're working on it for any excessive period of time, they could have just remastered Morrowind.
Don't worry, the Switch version of Skyrim will look so much better.
What do you mean? Skyrim's not coming out on the Switch.
That Nordic RPG, that looks super, super close to Skyrim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just fucking...
I'm not playing anything different. I'm still trying to get to 190.
I believe in you. So
I have 5 more. 5 more. And I have, what day is it today?
18th.
I have 12 days.
How far into Funk of Titans are you?
I just started today.
Throw
So
your
you'll have
honor.
4 more tonight.
or you're on our way.
Maybe.
Pick up the Lego
That game
games.
is like super easy to platinum. I finished it in like 4 hours.
The platinum in 4 hours, or the
Yeah.
game itself.
The platinum.
What the fuck?
We'll see.
I need to get on that. Get on those easy plat lives.
That's it, really.
That's shocking. Normally,
I finished Final Fantasy 15.
normally
super
you have
good.
a girthy list. So
Skyrim, Pokemon Stadium.
It's right over there.
Did not expect that.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly Katie wanted to play Pokemon Stadium, and I just been waxing that ass.
did you actually like? Did you have to wrestle that back from Bobby, or did you?
No, actually, I went over there and was like, "Hey, where's my N64?" And he was like, "It's under my bed." And I was like, "I'm gonna take it."
That's shocking because normally it's like, "Where's my N64?" And he's like, "Orlando has it," and you're like, "Okay." And you go over to Orlando's house, and he's like, "Dude, Bobby has it. I haven't seen Bobby in months." You go back to Bobby's house. Bobby has moved out. He's taken all his belongings, and he has
Can
ran.
confirm this is true.
And he's just fucking.
This
gone.
is true.
So it's like normally it'd be a fiasco.
The 2-year endeavor to get back my N64 culminated in me saying, "I want my N64."
Dude, it was for me. It was like a year, almost a year and a half to get back on my Super Nintendo games. So, and I still don't even have all of them back because I don't know who's lying to me. It's between Bobby, Orlando, or April. And the thing is, like, April would lie to Orlando because she knows he would tell the truth to me, so she could keep my games.
Yeah.
Goddamn vultures.
What else? Killing Floor. And that's it.
We need to play more of that.
Agreed.
Good deal. Finished The Last Guardian. I didn't platinum it, but I finished the story.
How'd you like it?
Loved it.
Really?
Absolutely loved it.
See
They're
Trico
all
taking
its
those
fault.
big green poops.
Yes. Yeah.
Super weird.
It poops.
Very
It
weird.
legitimately poops.
There's
It,
a
like-
trophy for it.
Yeah, you have to like catch him in the act. But it's super weird. I watched it online. He like kind of like a cat and like perches, and then it just kind of.
Yep. Does the whole squat perch. And
Wiggles.
I mean, through all the game's faults, I mean, it's incredible. Absolute incredible game. And then Destiny, because that started. So there's that.
The shuddering in your
That'll be the
voice.
next 2 weeks of my life.
Destiny.
Always goes back to Destiny.
Yep.
Which is bullshit.
How'd you know I was playing Skyrim?
Because you've been online.
But I had it
Because
blocked.
PlayStation tells you.
But I had Skyrim blocked. That's my game.
Did you block the trophies or block the game?
I don't know.
You can block trophies so someone can't see them. If you don't want them to see what you're playing, you can play offline.
You didn't do either of those things.
still relatively new to the ins and outs of PlayStation. Plus, that was a new feature. So, regardless, I'm playing the fuck out of that game. So,
Well. Oh, and Super Mario Run. Like I said.
I
I
downloaded
played-
it. Haven't got a chance to play it.
I played the first 3 levels. I'm not gonna pay $10 for it though, because I pay money.
Oh,
for
you gotta
mobile
pay
games.
for it?
You can play the first 3 levels
$10,
for free,
yeah.
and then you pay $10 for the rest of it.
The 6 world. I mean, it's a polished Mario game. I mean, it plays really well. It looks
does.
and sounds and plays just like a Mario game. I mean, the levels are short, but it's mobile. So, I think it's a good first jump for them
Oh, yeah.
into the
The-
mobile.
The rally feature, I really liked that.
That was neat.
It's basically like competitive Mario. You just play against someone who has like a score.
Are you playing like you're playing like a ghost to them? Or,
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a paper cutout that moves like this.
Oh, I mean, that's
And then you have
cool.
to do like stylish things to make toads show up, and then they like join your camp, and you can level up and stuff.
They cheer for you, but then if you lose toads of yours. They go to the other person.
I was actually talking.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've only played 2 and won both. The first one I think you like have to win, and then the second one the dude was just like super terrible.
I was actually talking to Mark about that today. The Nintendo, he was talking about how he won a trip to see like the grand unveiling when the Wii U came out.
Oh yeah, that's a really good story.
And he was saying how he was talking to the like marketing guides from Nintendo, and he was like, I told him flat out that they have like the mobile game aspect of it just locked down. So what they should do is push over to Android and iPhone. And he's like, 2 years later, I see this shit. He's like, moral of the story, I'm never telling anybody my ideas ever again. Because you know this is going to make bank.
Well, and it's only on iPhone, too.
Yeah,
Like, well,
it's like the
not
top
even going
downloaded game.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would say
Or
even
top
so,
grossing
it
game
doesn't...
of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, for
In 3
everybody
days.
everybody that says we're not going to spend $10 on it, there's probably already fucking 100 people that already dropped the $10.
Oh, yeah. They release a full-out Pokemon game like this on mobile. There you go.
Well, that's what he
Not
said,
even
too.
just Pokemon Go. Yeah.
They handled that game super poorly. I get that it was like Niantic as well, but still like 7 second-generation Pokemon, and that's it.
Is that how many that they released?
Yeah, 7. And they were all... The only way you can get them is if you hatch them.
Oh, wow.
That's
Super
a
fucked up.
terrible way to do it.
Yeah.
Plus, they did like...
They were like the first step evolutions, like Pichu and Togepi and stuff. So it's like, okay, I get why, but at the same time, like, I don't fucking want a Pichu.
Well, also they took like the... Like, I get it was supposed to be like explorative. Like, you're supposed to go places, but I'm not going to go to a volcano in the middle of like some random fucking islands to catch a Charizard or a Moltres. Like, I'm not going to do this. That's silly. Like, I get you want to have events.
I guess they updated it,
Well,
so
then
it's
you don't want to catch them all, do you?
Dude,
it's not as bad anymore.
Not a Pokemon Master.
Yeah, they changed that, so you don't have to do that. Because what was it? One of them was originally supposed to be on the moon or something. It's like, fuck you.
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Blastoise was like in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Blastoise was in Lucas Oil Stadium.
These just fucking stupid places. Like, a lot of them were just in dumbass places.
Like a couple of days ago, there was like a Lapras directly outside of my store. So it's like,
Dude, I haven't even been.
That
some
makes
kid
sense.
came in and was like, "There's a Lapras out here," and I was like, "I don't fucking care."
Good for you.
Yeah,
You shouldn't talk about your mom like that.
Woo, fire. She's wet all the time. But because we have those like Pokemon Go, those Go
Which
watches
is so
or whatever,
stupid that
and
they-
no one wants them
nobody
now.
wants
Like
them.
when they first came out, people were like, "You got those fucking Go watches?"
Like
I'll
every
kill you,
store got like 7
stab
of
you
them.
in your mouth, and now it's just like,
5 months later, like,
what is this piece of garbage? Like, oh, that's a Pokemon Go watch. It's for a game that's been irrelevant for longer than it was relevant.
Okay, so not much news. I already went over Pokemon news. Super Mario Run. Jimmy Fallon played with the Switch on his show. Miyamoto was there doing weird Miyamoto stuff as he usually is. Measuring stuff.
What?
It's a thing for him to like measure stuff with measuring tape.
Measure
And he
stuff?
just measured stuff backstage. Like measured a pizza.
Who does
But-
this?
Fallon played Zelda on the Switch. Who knows how legit that was? It looked okay.
I know
What game did he play?
January
Oh, sorry. I was.
January
I'm out of it.
13th is like the grand unveiling, according to
Yay.
unnamed Nintendo
So-
rep.
Maybe they'll actually figure out what this
January
is all about by
13th
now.
in Japan. January 12th here.
Yeah, there's a Nintendo Direct happening.
The worry is that, though, like, they might figure out what it's about, but they might change it also, because they did that with the fucking Wii U. So even if they
Also,
like, this is what this
super
system's going to be
weird
about.
thing.
This is everybody that's going to be on
I
it.
don't know if this happened to you guys.
2 weeks before the release, though.
There was like a phenomenon this week
Your
where
phenomenon.
every store sold all of their Wii U's.
Yeah.
We were sold out. We had 7 going into the weekend, like 3 pre-owned, 4 new, 4 pre-owned. They're gone.
We have no, like, Nintendo anything.
Why do people want them all of a
I
sudden?
and it doesn't make
Dude,
any
we-
sense
we
because
sold
like the
our
closer and
original
closer
Wii's,
we
too.
get to the price point of that system, the closer and closer we get to the Wii U dropping in price. Because they've only dropped like $50 since they were released initially.
Yeah, they've never really gone down in price.
So like you're paying $300 for a system that's 2 months away from being dead. Like
Well, it's already
it's a
technically
I say
dead.
it never really had
They're not making them.
a community
Yeah, they
either.
They stopped making them, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get many more.
I mean, I
Well-
own one, but I can't say I've played it a lot.
mine's right there. Do you remember the last time the thing was turned on?
Probably when Ricky and Belhar were here to play Smash.
I let the controller die because I was pissed off that it kept like flashing whenever like news would come up,
Pulsating.
I'd be sitting there playing something, all of a sudden the Wii U gamepad would light up. Fuck this.
I don't even know if the tablet's over there.
Nah, no idea. Speaking of the Wii U, Yooka-Laylee is canceled on the Wii U.
Big surprise.
It is coming out on the Switch though, so
Shocker.
woot.
Can't wait to hear that Zelda's canceled on the Wii U.
Please don't say that.
Just kidding.
I'm hoping
Can't
that
go on the
happens.
Switch as well.
You're hoping that
I'm
happens?
fucked up enough. I want that to happen.
If that happens,
Jesus.
I won't buy another Nintendo console.
I mean,
gonna happen.
wouldn't that prompt you to buy
No.
a Nintendo
No.
console? Like,
No, I could see why you'd say that, and
Like,
it's gonna
that is their
happen, and then I'm
purpose.
gonna be like,
This
I
is
want,
partly the reason why I want it to happen.
want a
is
Switch
I want
now.
to see how far this
But-
rabbit hole goes.
it would push me so far away,
so
so far away.
see how far this rabbit hole.
It doesn't really make sense
We
for it
watched
to
The
launch on
Matrix
both.
last night, so
Okay,
It's in my mind.
dude, Matrix.
Good
is
series, by the way. Fantastic.
yeah,
I mean,
All three of them. I don't care what anyone says.
I like all three of them as well.
I got no
Quick,
objections.
quick side note: it was supposed to be like me and him and Alina and Katie.
Fucking pussies went to bed.
Alina left like 5 minutes into the movie, and then Katie fell asleep. I don't know if you saw her head,
Yeah, she was leaning against you.
and she fell asleep like 15 minutes into the movie. So me and Vaughn are just like sitting on the couch the entire movie,
She fell asleep just as like Morpheus got caught.
Oh, dude.
So from that
which is the
point
best
on-
part. 'cause
So
he's
she
just
missed
like,
the part where he just comes in here and like,
Ah.
yeah.
That's-
And then Agent Smith is like, "You want to headbutt a wall? I'll show you a real headbutt."
headbutts him 3 times. Okay.
Headbutts the fuck out
Dude,
of
that
him.
movie was good.
Oh, well, okay, so with Zelda on the Wii U and Switch, it's one of two things is going to happen. Either it's not going to run well on the Wii U because the Wii U is not as powerful as the Switch is going to be, or they're just going to waste the power behind the Switch and downplay the game to the Wii U to get it to run well on the Wii U, which doesn't make sense. If you've got a new flagship console, pander to the console. Get rid of the old one. That's way underpowered.
That game is very cell shaded though, so it might play well on both.
The weird part about that is both those options sounded like something that Nintendo might do.
There it is.
So
Pretty
it's
much what they did with
I really-
Twilight
It's not
Princess.
outlined.
I really don't know what
It's
to
pretty
expect
much what they
from
did with
them.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Like, the second one is what they did with Twilight Princess. Because that came out on the GameCube, but like nobody talks about that game on the GameCube.
Except if they're arguing about which hand he should hold the sword in.
Yeah, because he's like left-handed in one and right-handed in the other.
I don't really know why that matters that much. If he's truly,
Because
But
the
it does.
Zelda lore-
It does.
if he's truly
always
the hero
left-handed.
that Kingdom needs, then he'll fucking find a way with both hands.
He's always left-handed, but he had to be right-handed in Twilight Princess because a majority of people are right-handed, and you control the sword with the Wiimote. So apparently,
Oh.
Well,
it
that's
would be
elitist. I'm
way
left-handed.
too.
It's clever.
It would be way too outlandish.
You are a mutant.
Unfortunately,
I am.
For it to not
unfortunately,
matter.
you'll die 7 years younger than most people.
Good.
Back in
The
ancient
way
Asia,
fucking
they
things are
weren't,
going, I'm looking forward to it.
they weren't playing games with lefties.
So, anyways,
Nintendo.
If Nintendo does that, I'm out.
well, I will be watching on January 13th.
I'm excited.
I wonder if they would come right out and say it's canceled, or just straight up do the marketing thing where it's like coming out on Nintendo Switch
And just leave it off and never mention.
and change
Never
the
talk about it.
Change the website where it just says Switch only.
I feel like that's what they'll do.
See, and
If that's the route that they're gonna go, that's what they'll do.
I could also see like the guy that's working on Zelda right now to like be super sorry and say we have to cancel it.
We're sorry. Sorry. I don't know. I just can't trust them. I legitimately can't trust Nintendo, and that's a shame to say. I don't know. They just make poor decisions. They just make poor decisions. I'm sorry. Consistently make poor decisions. Like I said, both those options that you presented that were fairly close worst case scenarios are both options. They might do both those things with that game. And then they might continue to keep that process going because people are going to buy that game. So they're going to be like, oh, well, we can completely waste the power of this new console and just keep making shitty games because it'll probably be faster and easier for what, even though the technology to make good games that properly utilize the system's power, that seems to be readily available. But, fuck it. We're Nintendo. We do what we want.
I wonder how long they'll support the Wii U after the Switch comes out.
I mean, there's only
They don't support it
probably
now.
4 games.
4 hours.
Yes.
There's only like 4 games slated to come out in 2017. One of them is Just Dance. So.
Well, that'll come out for the Wii U for the rest of its existence.
I think now it's the race. Which one dies first, Vita or the Wii U?
Wii U. Because at least they're putting
I think
Vita
it's
on the Vita every week.
I think it's a shame that a handheld system like the Vita, which isn't like PlayStation's biggest moneymaker, is even giving the Wii U, which is Nintendo's actual main console right now, a run for its fucking money.
Dude, that's their tertiary console because it's like
Well,
NES Mini, 3DS, Wii U.
No, it can't be NES Mini because they don't fucking
Can't
give
be a
any.
3DS either because they don't send those out anymore.
So they don't send anything out. The only thing we have is like 4 Wii U's. People bought the shit out of Wii's too.
3DS again.
They bought all the Wii's in our store, like just Wii's, not Wii U's. Wii U, like just Wii's.
Yeah,
So
no, all of mine are gone
like,
as well.
why are you doing this? Why?
Like, I can't get my kid an NES Mini, so I'll buy him a Wii. Same difference, right?
One more person comes in and buys their kid Madden 09. Like, what are parents these days like?
It's only 99 cents though. It's the same thing.
Shut the
There's gonna be so
Next.
many disappointed kids on Christmas morning.
Next topic. There really wasn't anything other than that.
We relatively, I mean, normally we take a decent hiatus, which is not a good thing. But, yeah, that gives us some time to have more topics for discussion. Well, for news-wise.
Yeah. Overwatch seasonal stuff came out.
I think some of it's cool. Some of it is not. I really don't care. Like, I think the Zenyatta Nutcracker is pretty cool.
That was really good.
I saw the May, like, Santa Claus.
Maze, that's
Whatever.
okay. I mean,
They said that they kind of dropped the ball with
Yeah.
May's outfit this time.
I wish they would have
Apologize
made
and stuff.
Reinhardt Santa Claus. I feel like that would have been.
Mm,
He's
you
got the beard.
You got Torbjorn,
He's an old
Santa
man.
Claus.
I don't care about Torbjorn. He sucks.
But Reinhardt's got a skin almost every seasonal thing, so I understand that they want to like rotate people that get stuff.
yeah, true. McCree has the Scrooge one. That one's
See
pretty
his
good.
belt buckle changed.
Oh no.
It's instead of a B, it's a G now.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Grouchy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want.
That's
I
the
thought
detail that I
grumpy.
like.
I wasn't going grumpy. I was grumpy, but same thing, same
Yeah.
concept. But I love McCree, but
I got that skin.
really, I haven't played. It's now that I'm done with the fucking shit show that is Skyrim.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to save my coins for the Sombra skin or the Nutcracker skin, because I really like that peppermint skin that she has.
I have like 1,100 coins,
Same.
and I kind of just want to buy Blackheart because that skin is always cool. Doesn't need to be seasonal. He looks like Nightmare from Soul Calibur. It's super cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, but what if something super cool comes out for like Soldier 69? And I'm just like, I need that. I need that in my life.
We're gonna jump to movie stuff. The new Spider-Man trailer came out.
No, Homecoming?
Yeah.
Looks good.
Super excited for that.
I
It's
think
not Garfield, and that makes my soul hurt. But
I think
Makes
it's
me happy.
I think it's gonna be really good. I'm also in the upside because Garfield's not in it.
I like Garfield.
I did as well.
I don't like him as a person, so fuck him.
Alrighty.
I don't even like Spider-Man. I'll watch the movie probably because someone will be like, you want to go see Spider-Man? I'm like, yeah, that's okay.
Comes out on my birthday,
When does it come out?
July 7th.
Oh, jeez. It's so far away.
What trailer did I watch recently? Damn it. I don't
Is
know.
there any good trailers that came out?
Son of a bitch.
John Wick 2's trailer.
I mean, that I think we've already talked
There was
about that, but I mean,
a trailer
goes
that I
without
watched
saying.
a couple days ago. Autopsy of Jane Doe. That was pretty cool. Oh fuck, what was the other one?
I actually watched the Power Rangers trailer again. I've already seen it, but I was like, watch this trailer again.
What do you think of that movie? I don't think we've heard his response on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't think I've been like on the record with my response.
You guys should totally talk about that because I need some pasta because I'm hungry.
What?
The Power Rangers trailer / that whole reboot.
Yes.
I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be. I think from what I can see from like all the reworking of like how the morph suits work and how Alpha's gonna look, like maybe not so crazy and alien, but like he can be alien, but he looked really weird. The eyes kind of threw me off.
I like that.
Really? Even with the eyes? I don't know. I mean I think he can make it work. They can make it work. I think my make or break is gonna be like their Megazords and all that. Like, are those gonna be cool? Like, I'm sure they'll be cool.
The Megazords look like dog poo.
Really?
Yeah, I think they look stupid.
I haven't even taken a look at them. So depending on, I'll take a look at them and decide for myself. But depending on whether or not those come through, it'll be, I don't know. It might sway me. I'm gonna see it either way, so it doesn't matter. Also, it's gonna be the tone of the movie. It kind of seems, I get it, like Power Rangers was like really campy in 90s and like 80s, so it was like kind of goofy. But this kind of seems like it's like serious as shit. Like they say,
which is where most of these things are going.
Which is where it's going to. But I don't want
like a darker toned.
I don't want them to take Power Rangers and make it too dark. I feel like it's definitely something made for the generation that was raised with Power Rangers, and I don't think too many of us would like to see it take that dark turn. Also, I kind of want it. I get why they can't do it, but like the original Power Rangers movie, everybody was like super cool for whatever reason, and now they're doing like the whole Misfits type of thing because that wasn't like.
But they still all know karate.
Yeah, like that wasn't like the theme of the first one is like like the original Power Rangers, like everybody was cool no matter what they were. Like, oh, you're a nerd. It was like the buff karate nerd. Like they were the buff black gymnast. Like
speaking of, he didn't have his middle finger the entire show, and I never noticed.
He doesn't have a middle finger?
No,
I didn't notice that either.
He got it cut off.
What?
Yeah.
How did I not know? I mean, they obviously probably shot it around that.
No, like I noticed it because I was looking at like pictures online, and he's like hanging over Trini, and his finger's gone. And I was like, does that dude not have a finger? So I looked it up, and he lost his finger when he was like 13.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
The guy from Friends is missing a finger as well.
Chandler Bing.
Mm-hmm.
It's from all the cocaine, probably. In the last like season of that show, he kind of just looked like a steamed hot dog.
Jeez, I never watched Friends.
Like his neck and his head was like one.
Never watched Friends.
Not wide enough.
God damn it.
So yeah, I don't know. I was never a huge like sitcom type of guy. I was listening to Zork talk about it today. I was like, I kind of want to watch Seinfeld though.
Seinfeld's good.
I like Seinfeld.
I was watching it with Dave.
It's very 90s though.
Yeah, I was watching it with Dave, and I was like,
I can see that. Dave watching
oh
Seinfeld.
no, Dave is George Costanza. Like he is him if he just never got into acting and got a job at Ford. That's him. Like he's that exact same person. So
back on Power Rangers thing.
Yeah.
I think the Zords look dumb. I think Alpha looks cool. I think the
Alpha looks terrifying.
I like that. Creepy, but I think if they took the eyes away, it would be a little better.
But then how would he see?
I mean, not take his eyes completely the fuck away, but like he doesn't have eyes in the original though.
He has like a light bar.
Yeah,
that he sees out of.
You can give him his light bar.
I think Rita looks all right, but
they didn't really show her like they showed her, but it wasn't like a full body.
There's like full body stills online.
Well lit. See, I haven't looked up any of the stills or anything like that.
I want to see what Bryan Cranston looks like.
I hope he looks like,
because that'll be fantastic.
I
want them to just like
sunglasses.
Like, yeah, it's just his floating like Heisenberg head. I want it to be like something crazy, so you can't even tell it's him. Yeah. Or like maybe call back to the episodes that he was in the original show.
I wonder if they reached out to him like specifically because of his involvement in the original show, or if he reached out and was like, "Hey."
I think it was because of his involvement.
Cranston.
They named a character after him. Like Billy his last name is Cranston. the Blue Ranger, and he was like 4 villains in that show. So
Good for him.
I've never seen Power Rangers,
Oh,
so
wow.
I feel like I have a totally different perspective on the trailer.
You just
I didn't know it was Power Rangers until
probably the very end.
the very end when she
Yeah.
said I've killed Rangers before,
It's fair.
and I was like Rangers. Oh, and by the time I like clicked, it was on the screen. Power Rangers. I'm like, this looks weird. So yeah, fresh eyes. I mean, that was kind of me with Ghostbusters. I've never seen the original Ghostbusters, so I saw the new one without any of the like old
Did you like the new
stuff.
Yeah,
I did like the new one, but I like Melissa McCarthy, Kate McKinnon. I like that crew. So
Have you thought about going back to watch the originals?
yeah, I want to, I want to for a while, but I didn't want to watch them until I saw the new Ghostbusters, because I didn't want to have that perspective
what
that
it should
everyone
be,
else
yeah.
had.
That's fair.
Yeah, that this is because I can understand if you grew up a certain way with it, that this new one coming out, you could be upset with like they're completely changing it, and the fact that the old cast was in it, but not even the original characters. I get it, but I mean, the new one's a good movie on its own.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't want to watch it because I knew there's no way I could remove my bias from seeing the originals. I straight up was just like, I'm gonna have to be the bigger person. Like eventually I'll probably watch it.
It's not
But
bad.
like when it first came out and opinions were flying about it, I was like, I'm not gonna get swept up in it because I know I won't be able to not jump on the whole like I don't like change bandwagon. Like personally I'm okay with change, but that is one I feel like they made enough changes to that movie that I would have been unable
They
to.
weren't trying to be better than the originals at all. From watching it, like I don't think they ever wanted to try to best them. It's
It was
more
supposed to be
just
like its own.
like a continuation of just
The only thing that I personally didn't like was I felt like they tried too hard to put all the old characters into the new movie.
It would have been simpler just to have like a picture of all of them standing together and like zoom in on it or something and be like, these guys used to fight for the city or something like that.
Instead of giving every single one of them a different role.
What's his name at the end? That one
That one made sense.
Which
With-
one?
I can't remember his name, the black dude.
Oh yeah,
Her uncle.
yeah.
That one made sense. I liked that one. But like Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray,
The
Sigourney Weaver.
Bill Murray thing worked to a point.
It was just like, I don't know. I didn't like it
very
because
throwaway. Like
yeah, and it was like he's so like 180 degrees the opposite direction than how he was in the old movies. And I get that that's what they were going for, but it still is like
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd didn't need to happen by any stretch.
Bill
But I
Murray
feel like
didn't
they
either.
owned very much the fact that people were upset with it. They owned that in the movie
Yeah.
to a point. But yeah, I mean, it definitely felt like a Ghostbusters
Yeah.
from what I would imagine it.
A
Should be.
modern-day Ghostbusters. Yeah. Rogue One time.
There we go.
Alright, well, I'll just go ahead and get comfy.
Fucking hated that movie. No,
Ooh.
I like.
Oh, I was like, all of a sudden, like I went like, okay, here
I
we
got
go.
really
like,
excited.
fighting time, like
I got really excited because I was like, dude, this is about to get lit.
Because I've been telling them that I liked it. So if I would.
Well, you didn't tell me that you liked it. I don't think.
I think I did.
Oh.
Like, you said you were excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I said
I-
I'm excited to talk about it, and then you said me
I
too.
guess I
That's
was.
all it was.
I guess I didn't
So
Did you think that Darth Vader's neck looked weird?
When they first
When it-
showed him.
I didn't at first, the first time I went,
Mm-hmm.
but then when I heard somebody say something when I went today to watch it, I looked at it like, oh, that is really fucking weird. It's very thick.
Yeah, they kind of like swooped up.
Yeah, and the one time he turns around, you can see the end of it in the back. Like you can tell, like it flares out, and like the end of the flare, and it was weird. Yeah.
I personally didn't think it looked weird, but maybe saying it again, I would.
I noticed it.
I noticed
but
it.
it wasn't like. It didn't deter from his presence at all.
I want to go see now because they said they used the models from A New Hope. And when I got back on Thursday night, I started A New Hope just to like go seamlessly into it, but I didn't watch it straight through. I fell asleep pretty close into it. I want to go now in A New Hope and see if his neck looks weird be like if it's something that you never really noticed,
Yeah.
and that if that's just what the models were.
I saw that they got some like cut footage of like the X-wings and stuff
Mm-hmm.
from the original.
For like red and gold leader.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla's dad was blue leader.
Is that what it looks like?
Crisscrossed, yeah.
He's got a hell of a ginger mustache.
Yeah.
If he's
Super ginger mustache is just like
if he's a rather on the larger side, like not weight wise, just like their dad's like a bigger dude.
well, it's just like his face.
Okay,
But I was like
he's a
looking at it, I
pale
was like, this is
mustachioed,
Chris
ginger mustachioed man. He's
Um,
Chris Krosniak.
So speaking of like the digital magic that they worked, what did you think of Tarkin?
His like the first time he was on screen, he looked weird.
Okay,
Um,
like his initial turnaround.
yes,
Okay,
I don't know if you thought that
What did you say?
Tarkin, like the first time the camera like kind of panned into him,
Mm-hmm.
he looked weird. Like looked very CGI.
I'd say yes, just because I knew that actor wasn't alive anymore, so I knew it was CGI. But after
Well,
that,
compared to like Leia at the end of the movie,
I thought Leia looked worse than him.
see, I thought Leia was flawless.
I thought she
mean,
was
she
too.
turned around. It was one of those where like
It was her mouth.
it was kind of like holy shit.
when they showed her veil, I was like,
Yeah,
She
I thought
looks
for
good.
sure they would just keep it behind her, and that you wouldn't see her face.
that's what I thought too. Like,
And then
she
when they
would say
turned her
something.
around, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Because
She looked good, but her mouth threw me off.
and that could have been the mapping.
I didn't
the-
even pay
the
attention
body
to her
double.
mouth.
I both times
Like,
I haven't.
goddamn,
either,
Carrie
'cause-
Fisher's young
yeah.
again.
Well, and then to get her original voice,
Mm-hmm.
just pulling the audio from the original movies. I've seen the movie twice. The first time I went with my fiance, and then the second time with my parents, and none of them were real hardcore into it, especially my fiance, and none of them knew until the end when I told them that Tarkin wasn't real. I was like, "Yeah, that actor died in the '90s," and they were all like, "All right, really?" I'm like, "Yeah." So that was all digital.
The only time that I thought he looked weird was like the first time though. Like everything else looked pretty solid.
Incredible. And that was the part for the movie I was most worried about. Because when everything was leaking out that Tarkin was going to be in it, I'm like, this could
didn't-
ruin the movie.
I didn't look into anything with Rogue One, so I didn't even know
Same.
he was in there.
Yeah.
I just seen it like a year ago. And then I like brushed it away. And then when you saw it was on a TV spot, like
Okay.
the back of his head and something, I'm like, if they don't do this well, I mean, it would ruin the movie. Especially with as much as he was in the movie.
Disney's really been the only ones that's really like recreated a human being with CGI. Tron,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
this.
Jeff Bridges. They did a super good job like filling in the gaps where people are like, Death Star is so huge and its one flaw is this giant air vent. Like I like that they explained that. Definitely needed an explanation.
I think that's why they wanted immediately to go back and make this the first one they do, and fill in that, which it also explains then why they went back and did the second Death Star, because it's like, okay, well that flaw took out our first one, go back and redo it, give her the flaw, make it bigger, everything like this. It should have been a no-brainer.
Yeah.
To go in, and it was found early and everything like that, so it explains the second one.
Yeah.
They did a really good job separating it from a regular saga movie.
Yeah.
It was different enough.
Right. They didn't have any of the like scrolling text or the fadeaways or anything like
Or
that.
when they go to a planet, they've got the
little
text of what
screen.
planet it is. It's like, you're getting your locations now.
Yeah.
Except for Mustafar. They didn't tell you that it was Mustafar.
I was going to say I liked that his castle was on Mustafar.
That's fucked up. I mean, you go back to the place that you almost died on and make that your home. That's messed up.
Dark, but like
Yeah.
I guess it could be like that's the place that Darth Vader was born on.
Anakin died on, Vader was born. Yeah, you go back for that.
a little hibernating tube to heal up.
Well, and the fact, it just adds to
That part
that
was really
he's
cool.
in constant agony, and that's the little bit of solace he gets. But could you but you have to take off the suit and put it back on, and that's a whole new level of
Yeah.
agony.
I wonder like what if he was in a battle previously, to have him in that tube, or he's just in that tube when he's not doing anything important.
I would imagine he'd be in it all the time.
Yeah.
I'd never leave. Like, this is just where I'm gonna stay.
Just in pain, constant pain. Like,
Make the back to tank portable. I would just roll me around everywhere in it.
He's like the king of puns, apparently.
Oh god.
That was fantastic.
There's your Star Wars cheesy dialogue.
What's his name?
Krennic?
Krennic, yeah. He is like talking to him about his like goals with the Death Star.
Yes, if he's still in charge. Because Tarkin wants to take control.
is being Mr. Bossman and wanting to like take everything, take all his credit
Right.
for the Death
Krennic
Star.
is
Vader
pissed.
like says something like find Jin's dad and figure out what's going on. And he's like, so then I'm still in charge. And he's like turned around at this point, and Krennic starts to choke.
He's like,
And he's like, and then he like falls on the ground, and Vader turns around and he's like doing the like force choke hold, and he's like, be careful not to choke on your aspirations. And I was like, oh shit. It's a long, long time ago, but he still burned that ass.
Yeah. I mean, he was in the movie very little.
yeah.
And I think it was gold every time he was on screen.
It was super cool every time he was on screen. I totally wouldn't have complained if he was there more, because we really have never seen Darth Vader doing anything. Like, that was the first time we've seen Darth Vader using the Force, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the first time we get to see him truly pull out his lightsaber skills.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, at the end of Rogue One shows you that in 4, 5, and 6, he's toying with people. Because if this is like minutes before Episode 4, and then that battle with Obi-Wan at the end, it's like, no, he's toying with everybody. Because that ending scene in the hallway,
It was like even better
special.
because like it's entirely dark and you hear him breathing, and then the light just comes on from the lightsaber,
And the
then he just
only
starts
lighting
fucking
is the
murdering
lightsaber.
Everyone.
Dude, I'm excited.
It's really-
Just to know that there's actual
He's
Darth
like-
Vader.
There's just a
doing
bunch of like
There's like
rebels.
yeah, there's like 13 of them, and they're all like,
well, the
and then you
door's jammed
just
so they
hear
can't
like
move.
Right.
like from
They
his
have the disc for the plans,
Yeah.
and like they need to get it off, and then he just appears like at the end of the hallway.
And it's like
And
this is like towards
doors-
the end of the film.
this
Yeah,
is like
This is like the end of the film.
film.
Oh, dude, that's a.
The door's jammed, so
Well-
there's like maybe this much space.
and they're like trying to pull the
Like-
door open,
and
and
then
the dude
he's
turns
just-
around, and you just hear breathing, and then like the lightsaber turns on, and it just dimly lights everything,
and
it's just
think
this
they're
red
gonna
glow,
stop him because they all
and they're
get,
like,
green
open
and
fire,
start
and they're all like shooting, and he's just like
That's just a good.
Coming
he
at
like
them.
like crushes a dude in the ceiling, and then just drops him. I was like, oh,
No, he throws him up, slices him in half behind himself. Like, he has him, like, up in the air, takes his lightsaber like that,
right.
cuts him in half, drops him, and then keeps going with him. It never stops.
That's just that's an excellent way to end a movie that anybody with a brain knew how it was kind of gonna end.
Well, they did a perfect job of making it, because you knew, like, at the end, you know they're going to get the plans, because you
Yeah.
know the story. But it's like, okay, so
how
once
did
they
they-
got the plans, it was from that moment on when, like, the plans got onto the ship, the urgency of getting them off, and it never lets you go to the end, because it's like, you know that, like, they're like, these planes have got to get off the ship, and when the door doesn't open, and they've still got the plans in hand, Vader's right there, I mean, they're all pounding on the door, it's kind of like...
there was legitimately a moment where I was like, oh shit, they're not gonna make it.
Yeah, like,
Like,
it
this was
questions,
all for
like,
nothing.
yeah.
even though you know.
Yeah.
But they did such a good job, and you know, all we've ever wanted was to see Vader in full action.
Yeah.
And see what he can really do.
And like
And-
30 seconds of it was pretty much everything we've ever wanted.
Right. And it
I
was
hope
like,
there's deleted scenes where like he did more.
oh, that'd be insane. But it makes you want, like, now, all right, Disney, really put your money where your mouth is. Let's do a rated R Vader spinoff. Like, take those 30 seconds and let's show Vader as the Inquisitor.
Yeah, I guess you could. Just with that, I mean, I guess you could make it rated R just based on like kind of, I guess, graphic content with like him doing stuff. But like,
That was fucking hard.
there's things that are just missing from it that would usually make it that rating. Like, there's really not that much sexuality in that series, which is
Give us a Darth
okay.
Vader movie in general.
You just want him
Like,
just fucking decimating people.
just
I would watch that.
Darth
Between
Vader.
3 and 4,
yeah,
what he can really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because like he at the end of 3, he's not like really full Vader,
Yeah.
and then but at
That's him realizing like what
he-
he is now.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
When he
and-
destroys that room.
yeah, and by like Rogue One, which is 16 years later, 19 years later,
69.
the he's just like this super
Get the middle man.
like evil man who's living in a fucking castle made of lava.
Hey, dude.
Like,
I mean, that's pretty much the only way to be truly evil is to make a castle out of the lava that made you the
Choking
way you
people.
are, and then
Choking
just
people.
Part of
fucking
me
destroy everybody that comes
wanted
near
the
you.
Emperor to show up and just be like super gross and wrinkly, but like not say anything.
Super bad teeth for some reason.
Do it.
Do it.
Kind of glad he didn't show up.
That'll shock
He
you.
really would have served no purpose.
Yeah. And, I mean, he wasn't in 4. He would have served a purpose in 4. They brought him in when he served a purpose.
Yeah.
If you go back, though, and, like, right after you watch Rogue One, if you watch A New Hope, it completely changes A New Hope. Because, you know, now it changes the beginning because you know what literally they've just been through. So when she goes up to Vader and is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a member of the Imperial Senate. All of a sudden it makes sense as why he's like, no, fuck you. I was just on your goddamn ship.
Yeah.
This is not, no, don't give me that.
There's no known struggle before.
Right. And now you
Like
realize
you see
what
like
happens.
the culmination at the end of all these fights, like in the rest of the Star Wars movies, and now it's like you saw the build up to the end of one of the fights, which like that shit was crazy. Like just straight up, that was like the last 30 minutes of that movie was
Like
awesome.
when you first get to that planet from then.
Yeah.
Scarifon.
Yeah.
It was bold what they did, and I'm glad they took that direction. I mean, it was Halo Reach with Star Wars. But
Because everybody's like slow, like everyone's getting picked off one by one, and it's like this 6-man crew, like 6 core people, and they go to this planet. And they're like, we're gonna get off the planet, but they're like, the entire planet is covered by a shield. The shield closes.
There's one
And-
access point that the Empire has. So
well,
they
the
can-
shield opens though.
Yeah,
By the
but
end,
at that
'cause
point
they need
they're
to get the
like-
plans off.
Yeah.
So they're regulating who can go in and out of this planet, where like all the archives are for everything.
pretty much the moment the shield closes, they're like, we're not getting out of here. We just got to get these plans out of here. And a bunch of crazy shit happens. When K2 was like, climb, I was like, God damn. And then he like looks down and was like, why is everything in this series so fucking tall?
No,
Like,
yeah.
That like data room is just absurdly tall.
So he's in a big like shaft.
I mean, it makes sense because everything can hover there as well. So
It's not even hard. I mean, this was all physical
it's-
stuff inside of a mountain.
Yeah, they're
but
like,
it's like
they're on a planet in like a base that is on the ground, and this thing is fucking.
well, I'm
huge.
saying like the ability to access things. Like
no, yeah.
if I didn't have to climb upstairs, if you were like,
Well, they were, like, using
it's
this
on like
robot.
the 156th shelf, and I just had to get on a little platform that
Yeah.
floated up.
Yeah.
I guess
they
I
were
would,
like using this
not really
robot,
give a
and it was
shit.
like pulling it out.
Well, I mean,
And
that
then
too.
they like,
until it broke.
yeah, the stormtroopers fuck it up, and K2's like, climb.
Sand troopers.
It was an
So-
honor to serve, and then he like blows himself up.
Are they ever gonna get? Are stormtroopers ever gonna get like actually cool? Like I get they're like aesthetically cool, but
What do
they
you define as actually cool?
but they still kind of suck at like actually being
They're cannon fodder.
a military.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty
They're
much like
badass on this one.
they were super cool in this one, and but they also they're just like background people.
Well, I know, but like in
like
in the
the
lore of it,
stormtroopers and the
stormtroopers are
rebels
supposed to
are
be
super
highly
lame.
trained, and it's like I would like to see the stormtroopers be a little more efficient.
Well,
and,
there's
like,
the different ranks of them.
yeah, like
I mean,
there's
the
Death
what is it,
Troopers.
Shadow Troopers or something
They're
like this one? Who are the
Death
black
Troopers.
ones? Death Troopers?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're the ones. I mean, they've got like the same makeup as Vader. Like their utility belt's the same as Vader's. I mean, they're like the high rank. Yeah, they cut through everything. So
Super good.
yeah, and I like how they set the scene for a lot of things, killing off Red 5,
Yep.
so Luke can become Red 5. A lot of the cameos are really good. Love that Bail Organa was in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was somebody Thursday night when he was there, and then he said towards the end that he was going to go back to Alderaan and tells people there would be no peace. Somebody at the end was like, "No, don't go." Yeah.
Also, like, stormtroopers were supposed to be like highly trained, but First Order stormtroopers really not so much because they're like not clones anymore.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just like brainwashed people. And like in the beginning of Episode 7, that was like Finn's platoon's like first actual mission.
So what you're saying is they're supposed to be less effective than they were in previous
They're supposed
films.
to be more effective
which
because they have more of like free will because they're not clones, which is like the entire point of what's his face being like, we're not going back to stormtroopers. Like my stormtroopers are better than your stormtroopers. Like,
That makes sense.
plus they don't really do cloning anymore.
I just need more stun batons. That's all I need.
Super excited for Childish Gambino to be Lando. I think that'll be really cool.
Dude, is he?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Donald Glover.
Yes.
I think the real question on everybody's mind, though, is Jar Jar Binks. So what's going on with him? Is he in there? He needs to be.
They
should've-
apparently,
He's
and I
the
didn't
one
know
that
this.
knelt in front of Vader in the tube. No one really knows that.
Oh,
Apparently,
God damn it.
in Episode 4,
We also don't know who that is.
Yeah, we do.
I really.
Yeah.
The guy, the shadowy figure that...
They... Yeah.
Oh, it was the old guy. It was the old guy.
It was the old... Yeah, it was old,
it's
like... not handmaiden.
All
But
I-
basically, yeah.
All I
he
can
was.
think of now, from what I'm
Probably
imagining,
show his
since I
face.
didn't actually get to witness the film yet, is like the scene that you guys are describing at the end. They just hear like the lightsaber, like where, and like it dimly lights everything, and all you hear is like, "Misa don't think so," and he just like fucking destroys everybody. Like
he just jumps incredibly high and
he's just
crushes Darth
he's
Vader.
Misa don't think so, and then like he's the one with the lightsaber. He's actually a Sith Lord, and like the dude's like, "Open fire!" and like he shoots his tongue out and just like rips someone's fucking head off. It's
Just
just
energy ball at him.
yeah, it just starts shooting little bubbles at them. They're like drowning in the bubbles because they can't
Apparently,
get them off their head.
In
Like,
Episode 6,
I'd watch that shit.
after the Death Star 2 is destroyed and they're like showing everyone like
did.
being free. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's like they're like showing the planet celebrating, and you can vaguely hear
On
like,
Naboo.
one of the Jar Jar Binks' race saying "Wisa free," and it's like it's just like a wide shot of like the entire planet, and they're like "Wisa free." It's like what the fuck?
They added it to the Blu-ray. Yeah. I mean, I think Disney's... When they're all, like, said and done, and they've really got this Star Wars machine running, their magnum opus needs to be justifying Jar Jar Binks.
Dude, really, seriously, I need the justification.
And with 2 movies, they've already proved that, like, they're the right people to be owning Star Wars right now.
Yeah.
And what they're doing with this. And as much as I don't want the Han Solo movie, I think that they can do it.
Yeah.
But if they're not going to do the 3rd spin-off movie to be an Obi-Wan movie, it needs to be Jar Jar Binks movie.
Just Jar Jar Binks being incredibly fucking annoying, accidentally making.
I would watch a movie of Jar Jar Binks after he's obtained power, because like he's like I would like to see what the fuck he would do when he's in charge. Like, is he like a savant? Where we're just like, this dude has no fucking idea what he's doing, but like he's actually a brilliant tactician or something. I don't know. I just want something, some kind of some.
I want to rewatch the prequel trilogy because I haven't seen those probably since they were in theaters. Like I've seen Revenge of the Sith multiple times,
I was watching stuff on the
but I
Phantom
haven't
Menace the other
seen
day.
Phantom Menace or Clone Wars in a long time.
Darth Maul is cool. That's pretty much the only thing about Phantom Menace that even exists, period, is that he's cool. And pod racing.
If George Lucas really did pussy out with Jar Jar Binks' story, Disney should then at that point be like, fuck this, we're going to remake 2 and 3 the way they should have been originally.
Or their grandmaster plan is Snoke is Jar Jar Binks.
Dude,
He
Yeah,
has,
Snoke
that,
is.
he has that scar because his ears were torn off.
I'm leaning more towards the Snoke as Mace Windu.
That would be super cool. I don't know how people would react to Samuel L. Jackson, super black, being like Snoke, super ashy.
Well, we don't know if he is.
they would just die.
He was a hologram.
That's true.
That's how they react. Like, it's me,
I-
motherfucker. Mace Windu. People would just be like,
Just like shooting snakes out of his hands. Instead of lightning, it's snakes.
I
Like
think
Snoke has to be someone we've seen before. Like he has to be. He has to be. If there's like such a mystery around it,
yeah.
and
I
if
know.
they're not gonna do like, if Rey's parents are people that are totally unimportant,
Could it be someone
Then
we
Snoke has
haven't
to be
seen,
someone.
but we've heard the name before? Would you be okay with that?
it would have to be someone like we already know of, like not directly in the movie, but like someone who's in the universe. Because it would be super underwhelming if he wasn't.
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Blank hologram light showing nothing.
it depends on how far they're going with the series. Like, if they introduce a new character and then give him enough substance, or her, or it, or whatever the hell, if they give it enough substance, I won't be underwhelmed by it. I think it will be underwhelming with the grand reveal initially. So, like, when they're like, "This is Snoke," and you're like, "Oh, it's not anybody that I know." I don't think that's a reason to immediately discredit that character as being like a strong character. You just have to have faith that they're willing to put in the work and give them structure.
I think at this point, no matter what happens, people are going to be
Definitely.
underwhelmed
Yeah,
because
definitely.
it's way overhyped at this point.
Because there's like Emperor Snoke is Darth Vader. Snoke is like, you could pretty much type in Snoke is, and then there will be Google searches. out
Wouldn't
the
that
ass.
fuck Kylo Ren up if it's Vader and like he finds out, being like, "What?"
I've been your grandfather the whole time.
God, it's a piece of shit.
But yeah, back to Jar Jar thing. Like,
I'm
it's
happy
the
you're
one
as
thing
adamant
that
about Jar Jar as I am.
if George Lucas really did pussy out on Jar Jar Binks like the theories say he did, people can get mad at George for changing the movies and doing what he did with them.
Yeah.
But if he let that storyline go just because of the backlash after Phantom Menace, that's the thing he fucked up on Star Wars most with. Because that ruined the prequels, and because at least it would have given it meaning and made things make sense.
The more characters that he would have given meaning to in that film, the better that film would be received. Like, even if like now he continued, or not even he, but somebody continued to give the events of that movie like actual purpose, anybody in that movie actual purpose, it would raise the market value, I guess, of that film. Because that's like one of the biggest questions. Like, that's a legitimate question. Who is the main character of that film? Who is that film about? What is that film even really doing for us, other than like really introducing Anakin?
Well, and the fact that, the Phantom Menace being Jar Jar,
Yeah.
and what were they saying, that Dooku was shoehorned in with everything
Which like
after
super
Jar,
makes sense
after he
because he's
took Jar Jar out?
such a weak character,
Right.
and then they kill him off in the beginning of 3.
Because he makes no sense being there. But it's like, yeah. I mean, it worked out for him because the Phantom Menace could just be the Sith being there. But the fact that, it's actually a 3-story arc, that it's been this dumbass in front of you the whole time, makes a lot more sense. And to get everyone to the point where it needed to be in 3, other than trying to make events fit a narrative that wasn't working because you didn't have the right catalyst to get to that point.
Yeah. I mean, it's not unheard of that a film would do a move like that, where it's like, because Jar Jar survived so many situations in which a lot of people were being killed. Like, it would
There's
stand
also
to
like
reason that
extensive videos of him doing things that are just like
Ridiculous.
super crazy.
His fight on Naboo.
He jumps like 30 feet in the air and then dives into a pool.
I mean,
Like-
the frog people.
Well, it's not even that. It's the fact that, when he's jumping with things like when they're first on Naboo and he's doing the jumps on the balcony, he's doing things that he doesn't even see. When he's doing the battle at the end with the droids, he's dodging bullets that he should not know that they're there. And he's killing things for enemies he can't see. And, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a kid,
I've always
I
liked
loved
Jar Jar
Jar
also.
Binks.
I legitimately think Jar Jar is funny, and I enjoy him. Other people hate him because he's a complete idiot. But
He's less funny now, but he's still not as bad as what people make him out to be.
No. He had an annoying voice, but other than that, I didn't have any ill will towards him.
He is perfect meme material. Jar Jar Binks.
And people also hate the Ewoks, so fuck people. The Ewoks,
The
are my
Ewoks
people.
are vicious as fuck.
Dude, they were fucking shit up. I mean, it makes sense. Dense shrubbery. They're very low to the ground. They're like part koala bears, which are known to be extremely vicious. Like, you'll get fucked up by an Ewok.
You should bring up what James asked you about with Rogue One.
Oh, I thought it was going to be about my number.
This would be good for Chris to...
Uh-oh.
So, my boss said, and this is actually something that's like massively thought.
Okay.
Rogue One is based off of one line of dialogue.
Mhm.
Many Bonthans died to
No,
bring us this
not that one.
information.
Bothans was the second Death Star.
Second Death Star, yeah.
This one was based off the line that, what have you done with the plans? I mean, because then, yeah. It surprised me how many people, think that
Thought
the
that,
Bothans
yeah.
line was about this one.
Yeah, because the day after, James said something about it. I had 3 people say 0 out of 10 Bonthans died in the making of this movie, and then it was
Shit.
part of me was I should comment on every single one of these,
Yeah.
and then I was just I'm not gonna be that guy, and then I typed out a super long message about how they were stupid, and then didn't send it, and then was I need to do
You'll
this.
be there for days, dude.
You gotta learn to just send those out. That's what
I got
do
in a
on
fight
Facebook.
with people who were pissed that Leia was there at the end. They're like, why is Leia in the battle? I'm like, you dumbasses. Because she is either a senator or has a different job in the Senate because she is a member of the Senate. And she's one of the rebellion's leaders by that point. She has every reason to be there. They're like, why would you bring your daughter to this event? It's probably because she's more capable than Bail. That's why.
Especially at that point,
Yeah. This is... You're talking about, why is she there 10 minutes before episode 4 takes hold and, she's a badass in episode 4?
Weird.
People are dumb. I hate
wonder why.
people.
It's been my motto for years.
Especially when it comes to things that people should be, any pop culture that people should be relatively educated on, just from simply existing on the planet. Or knowing how, chronological order works.
It's you have the aftermath. You know where it goes. There's a reason this one's here.
So people have to be there
Cause and
in
effect.
certain areas, yeah. So, yeah. I'm really pumped for them to flesh out other stories of the universe there, with seeing what they did with this one. Because, we've mostly been talking about the last half hour of the movie, but the whole movie did a good job. A little slow in the beginning
Yeah.
with things. But I think K2 is one of the best characters.
How was Donnie
a
Yen's
while.
character?
the blind guy.
dude.
Oh, Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
I heard Diane. Who the fuck is Diane?
He kind of he was an incredibly important character, but was kind of underutilized.
I could say that with almost everybody in that movie.
He's someone that there could be another movie for his background.
Yeah, he was.
I feel like
He was using the Force in that movie.
I feel like they
straight
would
up was using
do
the Force.
too much on get too in depth on everybody, seeing as how all the characters were kind of expendable.
Well, but you get him in a situation where he's got this backstory that they're even talking about. That it's you're giving us this planet that's the home of the Jedi, and he's the guardian. That hold on, this is a story that needs to be told.
that'd
This
be
one
interesting.
specifically, because we've been wondering about this.
Well,
And a lot of that Jedi stuff was like told in the books too, and now that that's not canon anymore,
Right. Yeah.
it'd be nice for them to dive into that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't really dive into the Force too often. They talk about it and they use it, but in terms of in-depth story knowledge about it, they don't really talk about it. Just like it's a thing.
All they've decided on is that midichlorians are not a thing anymore. We're going to ignore that.
Just didn't happen.
And a lot of people rag on the music for Rogue One.
Really?
Yeah, Jared actually posted that the score wasn't that great, and I kind of just wanted to like flame him for being such a fag. Like, the score wasn't that great. Did you go there to listen to the fucking orchestra? Like,
Okay, music person here. I kind of do. That's probably 50% of what I notice in a Star Wars movie. I also went in, made myself go in with zero expectation for the music because it wasn't John Williams.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to realize that this is not John Williams, and I can't expect it to be John Williams. He used enough of John Williams' themes while making his own.
Right. I heard like subtleties that I've heard
Yeah,
before.
I mean, he'd bring the Force theme in. Like when Bale was there, it was really there. But like then he had Jin's theme that came out a lot in the movie, and he did the same thing where each character gets their own theme and events interweave and everything. And when I've been listening to soundtrack on my phone, there's no doubt that when you listen to it, it's a Star Wars score. So that's what's most important. That you listen to it and you go, this is Star Wars. Because a lot of people ragged on The Force Awakens for not being a memorable Star Wars score. It's like, you kidding me? Because they're trying to be like, well, in the original, you got this. And it's like, no, you didn't. You got like two things, and then you got more of it in Empire and more of it in Return of the Jedi, but you've mashed it all together where you thought that you got the Imperial March and all these other things in the first movie, and you didn't.
Yeah.
It was over a span of 3 films.
You've heard it so often.
Right, that
think
you
it's
just...
more than it actually is.
Exactly. It's like now, you can't get all that content out of one film.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of stuff that's memorable out of The Force Awakens, but this is a spin-off movie. I mean, you're never going to hear these themes again, probably. So...
Right. If they changed too much, they would have complained. If they changed too little, they would have complained. So it's kind of
Exactly.
like...
Well, he's just using John Williams' music. Well, what do you want? Like...
He did the Star Wars music.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, we'll get bad music for you.
And one guy was like, well, I didn't hear a single John Williams theme in it the entire time. I'm like, and then you were not listening to the movie.
You don't know how music works.
Exactly. Yeah.
I thought the music was good.
Yeah. It was there when it needed to be, not there when it didn't need to be. It was...
Right.
Yeah. Which is all that matters.
That's when the soundtrack is good. Where it's not like... You notice it, but not in the way that it stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes it bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, games are doing a better job of that nowadays as well. Like Last of Us, that score is great.
A lot of silence until you need it. Last Guardian did that really well.
Excited to actually finish that one day.
One day.
Oh,
Well, I'm not sure. I haven't played Last Guardian. I just know that like silence in certain situations is like really good for building tension. So like in
They
the
do a
case
good
of
job
like,
with
The
that.
Last of Us, like it's if you want to build tension, especially in situations where you need to be silent, or there's just an excess amount of enemies around. Like that game's not really. Well, there's some parts that are, but there's a lot of parts where sneaking is preferable to just like trying to murder people. So, I think that's a really good tactic that any game that's trying to build tension or suspense could use, or film.
Well, if I remember correctly, the Vader hallway scene at the end, when it starts, there's no music.
it's totally silent.
It's completely silent, and you just hear the ambience of the hallway and then the breathing.
Yeah,
There's
it was
no
just-
music. Even I didn't notice any music through it.
It was just
You're just hearing,
the footsteps of them running to try to get that.
and then him
disc
just
out.
well, it's just that's one of those moments where they're like, we don't need music for this. This is just focus on everything going on.
And then you could always go like the Conjuring freaking route where it's like exactly when something's about to happen because it just cut everything.
Right.
Cut all that dead silence. That a lot of scary movies do, but that one's the most notorious because it's built a lot around jump scares.
Yeah.
It gives you that dead silence and then that really hard freaking like a crescendo of crazy violence. It's just violence. Sometimes some cellos.
So we got-
Unfortunately, now we have to wait a year until episode 8 instead of 6 months.
but being a Star Wars fan, having them come out so frequently, I'm okay with at this point. Like frequent being a year, but even then, having to wait so long to get 7, and now that they're coming out like steadily, I'm like, this is great.
Every Christmas, it's Star Wars forever.
Yeah.
Until I die. I'm so happy about that.
So we have 20 minutes until this episode ends. So I got some questions I want to cover, and then I just want to read a couple comments on the soundtrack for Rogue One on Google Play Music.
Oh shit!
This is gonna upset you super.
This
bad.
is where I get to.
So there's some that people like 4 stars. There's a 3 stars here. Good, but lots of room for improvement. The music is divisive. Most tracks sound like the composer wasn't even trying hard. I appreciate not needing to steal John Williams' work and respecting it, but so few tracks are memorable that I was shocked that Medal of Honor's great composer was responsible. I think his tunes need a choir to be good, and probably why this music didn't feel like him.
So they hated the music for the movie Incredibles?
3 stars. Some of the time I really liked this score, or I found it annoying. I do have to give Michael credit, though, for doing it in only 4 weeks.
What?
Okay.
Inside knowledge right
1
there.
star.
I guess so.
The soundtrack for this film is most unfathomably bad.
Wow.
I read that it only had 4 weeks to write it, but it sounds like he had 4 hours.
Shit. Who are these people that they can make these judgments?
When there's dialogue happening in the film and the music is only background, it's not bad. So listening to the album on its own is also not a terrible experience. But if you have it on the background, but when the music is our only audio in the film, or if you really listen to the soundtrack hoping to feel the excitement of the film, as I did with Episode 7 soundtrack last year, you'll be disappointed. I don't even know.
Plot twist, that was written by John Williams.
It was a brave decision to rely so little on Williams' classic themes, and the composer failed to live up to the task. Disney appears to have rushed more than just Michael in putting this film together, and the results are obvious in an otherwise good movie.
Dude,
Other than that, there's a lot of 5 stars. Like,
I hate critics. They're the worst.
I hate
These
people
are
who
just like-
wannabe
Critics.
Wannabe critics. That, like...
weakest part of this movie, in my opinion, just couldn't get into it. The score is decent, like the movie. It's good, but not great.
I'll accept that. I mean,
Then there's a lot of best movie ever with great soundtrack. Just 5 stars straight up, no comments. Yeah, but okay. People
Well,
are stupid
fuck
because
those people.
they think they know stuff that they don't.
4
Not saying
weeks.
we know everything.
4 weeks. That's...
We have
doubt
an
it.
audio guy on our cast.
but
so-
at least we give people, like, we don't make snap judgments. Well, sometimes we'll make snap judgments, but we put out disclaimers prior to that.
we back them up with.
Be like, this is a snap judgment.
Well, we're just kind of like, I get that this judgment is kind of like,
Kinda
if I'm
snappy.
gonna be like, yeah, it sounds like that shit was composed in 4 hours. I better have like platinum fucking records lining my walls. Like, if you're gonna tell me that a man that makes his living making amazing soundtracks for multi-million-dollar
And you
media.
wouldn't choose this guy for a Star Wars movie if you didn't have. Like,
Yeah, if you're gonna tell me that like it sounds like it was composed in 4 hours, you better be able to best that man at least 5 out of 10 times every time you meet.
Okay, so I looked up this whole 4-week bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bullshit. So remember a while back they talked about how Rogue One was doing reshoots.
yeah.
Like 40% of the film was doing reshoots, which that's another point to bring up.
They cut
It
out a lot
didn't
of
look
stuff.
like it though when you watch the film. Like sometimes you watch a movie and you're like, yeah, I can tell like
Like Suicide Squad.
things were done. I couldn't tell anywhere really in the movie that things were replaced, put in.
There were scenes that I saw that they showed off that weren't in the movie.
Oh, in the trailers and everything. Yeah, like the whole I Rebel thing that was gone.
Yeah, but that's
So yeah, the original. I remember hearing about this. The original composer was the guy who did like the final Harry Potter movies.
okay.
When they did reshoots, they pulled him off the project and got this guy on,
Interesting.
and he did have 4 weeks to write the music. And they asked him about it, and he's like, yes, literally the last thing I expected I'd be doing this month would be making this movie. I mean, we were literally planning a vacation when I got the call asking if I could come and talk to them about it. At the time, it left me with literally 4.5 weeks to write. I spent the weekend with my kids and said, you know what? The next 4.5 weeks are going to be brutal, but Monday I'm going to start it. And I sat down and started it, and there it was 4.5 weeks later, we were scoring.
Super impressive.
So I wonder how bad the original soundtrack was. Because he is the complete opposite of John Williams. He's very minimalistic.
Spoilers, the first soundtrack was actually done in all kazoos.
Done in Mario Paint.
I would have lost my shit. I would have been so happy.
This is more for you guys because I've already made my mind known about Bethesda games. But
Oh, God.
at what point is a game too broken to finish? As a person that's playing it. Like, at what point is a game so bad that you will not go to the end?
Are we talking just in terms in general, or are we just
It could be anything.
Bethesda games?
It could be glitches. It could be anything.
You and I play a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, I try to switch it up from time to time because I know we do.
So, I'm not saying that in like a bad way,
Right.
but like we're both like all over the place with what we play.
Mm-hmm.
We've played some pretty broken shit, like Apotheon, where like every time you open a chest, the game crashes.
I never
I never had any problems with that game.
Really?
Yeah.
It was the same chest for both of us. You opened it and the game would crash, and it would send you back like several checkpoints.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
See, at that point, I wouldn't play it. That would piss me off.
Did you play it at launch or after? Like a while after?
I played it at launch.
Okay. Interesting.
I never finished it, though. So I don't know, like, how
how far in?
I don't remember.
There was like it was a specific chest. There's like a labyrinth thing, and it's like a big spinning circle, and then you kind of have to like jump through like as it's spinning, and then you get to this chest.
I don't remember this, so I didn't get there.
It's a chest there every time you open it. It was like I would start over, get back to that point, open the chest, and it would send me back.
They did
I
it for
stopped
both of you?
playing that game. Yeah, I stopped playing the game. He still finished it.
You seem like a masochist, though, that you'll just push through.
Yeah. That's the way to say it.
Yeah. I'll accept that.
Skyrim is probably as broken as...
More snake.
Having gone back to Skyrim, I don't know if I would be able to play a game that's that broken again.
I feel like it wasn't as broken as a lot of people were.
Did you pick Stormcloaks or Imperials?
Stormcloaks?
Did you wear the Stormcloak armor?
Nope. Not
The
yet.
game would not let me talk to Ulfric. I had to go back 5 hours.
Why?
Because I couldn't talk to Ulfric unless I wore the armor during the quests.
Bro, I never wore anything that they told me to wear. They were like, here's your Thieves Guild armor. And I was like, here's the floor. So I threw it on the ground.
He did the whole game in a chef hat. Only a chef hat.
Butt naked.
I actually made a mistake
with a fork.
because I did like the one Daedric mission where you get the ebony armor and it poisons everybody that's an enemy. So I couldn't sneak because, I mean, not that I ever cared. As soon as they were like, you can kill someone if you have to, I was like, oh, you have a letter here. It says that you're the cook. And I'm like, yeah, slap. And I just started killing everybody because the game, it doesn't change the game. Like, it's not make it unplayable simply because it's a role-playing game. If it wasn't a role-play game, that would be problematic for me. But because of that, I should have that freedom of choosing. Like, if they're like, hey, you should be stealthy, and I'm like, hey, don't tell me how to live my life. And I should be able to murder whoever I want. But yeah, anybody that gets within like a couple meters of me starts to immediately die from poison. If they're aggressive. So the second that anybody in the room's like, did you hear that? They automatically start to die of poison. And then they detect me because I'm killing them without touching them. But, go.
Basically, having played Skyrim, that's supposed to be a AAA title, that game crashed 12 times for me.
Yeah.
I don't think AAA titles should crash. I don't think games that are disc-based should ever crash.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fair.
I don't understand how that happens.
I think yeah, that's fair. Especially with...
If I have it downloaded I feel like I understand that more. But I might have the logic reversed.
What gets me with Bethesda is this is not a unique issue
Yeah.
to Skyrim. It's every game they do that is in this general
In this
area,
genre
like,
of
genre.
large scale
Fallout
RPGs.
has always had these problems. All their Elder Scrolls games. So I don't know.
Another glitch that I ran into is the Ulfric Stormcloak thing locked me out of the main quest line, as well as the Stormcloak quest line. While I was trying to figure out a workaround for that, every hold that I fast traveled to, directly in front of it would be a dragon whose head was stuck in the ground, but he was still alive and was just like flapping his wings and roaring.
That just sounds like a bad day.
Joey, you had the worst. Like I had a couple things that were super shitty. Like I don't know, whoever, it's like something Greymane or something. He's like Ulfric's general. You go to him when you do any of the quests with the Stormcloak. Before you go anywhere, you have to get like his orders or whatever. But regularly, he just wouldn't tell me anything. Like the dialogue wouldn't change to like, I'm ready to go march on whatever. It would be like, what do you think about the Empire, and why did you become a Stormcloak? But he would never, like, he had to, it would tell me to go to him. I'd go to him no matter how many times I like tried to talk to him. He would not give me that dialogue until I had to like fast travel to like 3 different holds and then fast travel back, and then he would change his dialogue. And so like that stuff like that, sometimes, and this is super fucking annoying, the guards, so if you put away your weapons, the guards will stop like attacking you, and they'll be like, hey, you want to go to jail or whatever. And what I would do, because I was doing the get 1,000 gold in every hold, or anytime I would do anything like that, I would just run up and murder someone. Like, I'd run up, you hit a guard, you automatically get 1,000 bounty in whatever hold it is, and then I would just leave. And then I would use my like unrelenting force, because I had the full thing, knock everybody out, and then I could run out of their distance before they could even get up, and then I could fast travel. But me realizing that you run faster with your weapons away was like, I'll put my weapons away. Whoever was the closest guard to me would register that I put my weapons away, and then they would follow me endlessly. I would have to kill them, because no matter how far away you run, because they run up to you in that like little cutscene type of thing they do before.
They're tagged to you.
They're tagged to me. I ran, and just to test it, I ran halfway between Solitude and like, I think it was like Markoth, which is like halfway across the map. He was somewhere, because I kept trying to fast travel. It's like, you can't fast travel while guards are pursuing you. I was like, you're fucking kidding me. Like, and you can't wait either. You have to find him. I had to find him and murder him. It was the only way to make it stop. And it, like, that's asinine to me. Like,
hey, you need to go to jail.
like at one point, I just sat on a bridge, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go get some food, because this dude has to fucking find me, and I can't actually in-game wait. I can't in-game wait. I have to IRL wait in my house.
And at that point, you have to hope to God he's not stuck on something.
Well, that was I was like, dude, he's gonna get stuck.
Broke something or fell through the world, because
dude,
why have a solid ground in the Bethesda game?
I feel like there was some funny stuff. There was some stuff that made me scared though. Like there was the cannibal mission for the Dage of Lords.
Ring of
yeah.
Mira.
Well, when the dude went to sleep, I hit him. I did like a power attack. He went through the floor, but he wasn't dead. I was like, oh, no. I was like, oh god.
Consistently, once I got the trophy for getting like 20 dragon souls, dragons would die in front of me and then just melt into the ground, and they were just gone forever. So it was like they would die and then do that weird thing where they're like, and they would just kind of like shimmy into the ground. It's like, what the fuck just happened?
He was trying to bury himself.
What about you?
What?
We lost track of the question because it's
Oh yeah. So
because
like,
Bethesda's
I was
awful.
actually just I was thinking, like, we always go back to Bethesda things. For me, it has to be like where the game mechanics don't work.
They fall apart.
One of the examples I would say is Sports Bar VR when it launched.
Oh yeah, you told us about
Darts
that.
is completely unplayable
Mm-hmm.
because just everything was fucked. Skee ball, shuffleboard. Those things just don't work because they were broken. That's when I stopped playing it until it gets fixed, like Surgeon Simulator. It has to be the point where the game just doesn't even function. I can deal with a lot of like the buggy bullshit to a point.
Yeah.
Especially
Because I'll still
nowadays.
play it. Especially, I still love Skyrim. It's one of those things I always go
Yeah.
back to. But for a game where you're just sitting there like, it is more frustrating to make any progress in this game because what I'm supposed to be doing doesn't work at all.
That's part why I don't like to play open world games, because I know stuff breaks super easily. One little thing could ruin the progress later on down the line, so I try to stay away from them.
I guess in the same like of not like game mechanics not working. This might not be entirely mechanics. I mean, more so for me is like the AI. If the AI is broken, that just kind of fucks it for me, because I either feel like I have to exploit things in the game, that if I have to do something that isn't like what a character in a game would do, like I have to legitimately exploit some kind of default in the game. I mean, not default, some kind of fault in the game in order to progress. Or I feel like the AI is so stupid or something's so wrong with it that I'm constantly exploiting a fault. Like not only are they not giving me a challenge, like they are just they're not there. They might as well not even exist. Then I kind of don't even want to play it, because it either doesn't offer the right kind of challenge, like the whole things like that, and like things like the Division.
Fuck that game.
Just things like the enemies in the Division, they have 100% accuracy, but they shoot you. It's when they shoot you before they leave cover. So there's the animation in which the enemy stands up. They will start to shoot the gun pointing away from you. The bullets are still hitting you, and they're coming, and they're still completely behind cover. So if I'm aiming, I'm like, oh, the second this dude stands up, he shoots me from here with his gun pointing in the opposite direction of me, and then proceeds to turn around, all while shooting, and his bullets are like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They're just coming out and like turning around and hitting me, and it doesn't make any sense. Like stuff like that, like I
haven't played that since they updated it recently.
yeah, like I have to
Heard that
exploit the
heard
game.
that
They're
like,
dead to me, as
revamped
far as I'm
everything.
concerned. As soon as I walked in the one fucking building and it was the one safe house and it was an Ubisoft studio, it was like, fuck you guys.
They do that with everything.
You guys are like 4 honors on the wall or whatever it was. I'm like, fuck you guys.
I'm
I'm
really
getting to
excited
the
about
broken point. I am too. I'm getting to the broken point with Destiny. Always goes back to fucking Destiny.
that. Always
Sparrow Racing.
came full
It's to
circle.
the point where
It's
like
Sparrow Racing.
the way the game mechanics work on it, it seems like the game fucking picks and chooses which gates you did make it through. Because like if you clip the edge of a gate and like half your sparrow goes through, it's like a coin toss on whether or not the game's gonna give you credit for it, and it makes or break like the end of it. And like I'll be making a turn or something, and there'll be like a rock that comes out of the wall just enough that my sparrow will stop dead in its tracks, won't move, and everyone will pass me. And it always happens in the last 25% of the race. And my quest line is I need to win 3 races. And I'm calling it my last lap fuck up now. Because every race, in the last 25% of the race, I fuck up. Because I run into the wall, I take a turn too close, or I hit a jump that it like launches me and just slows me down, and I like float midair and then land, and then I don't hit the gate and go, and everyone passes me, and I go from first to 6th place to last place in the race because the game mechanics are fucked. And that's where I'm at the point, because I'm like, this is a 3-week event, and I'm spending more time doing races that I'm getting last place in than doing anything else I need to do in this event. And it's Destiny all over again. It's my 5-hour things of going up against Skolas and not beating Skolas and not getting any rewards for it. My 5 hours were wasted. That's when I came in and had an existential crisis about what the fuck am I doing with my life. That's what Destiny does. That game is one that like you should not play, but it's heroin. That's what it is. my buddy's roommate was asking the other night. I could hear it over the chat. He's like asking about Destiny, and my buddy just said to him, "Don't play it. This is Destiny. Don't play this game. But if you do, let me know." Like, you shouldn't play it, but if you do, let me know. That's this fucking game, and I'm gonna go home and play it. I'm gonna hate my life. That's what it does. But yeah,
It's unfortunate.
because it's a 3-week event.
Well, I'm sorry.
Say that often.
Dude, I don't know if I want to play another game. I'm not gonna play anything tonight. I'm going to bed tonight because I
I'm on
have.
break. I'm fucking playing games.
I have.
Every
Oh no!
minute I get
Well, what I've been.
Skyrim and then start
2 hours
Argon.
nights of sleep. This is me.
Or
What I've been doing is freaking. I've been playing it, and then waking up at like. When Kayla gets up to go to work at like 5:30 in the morning, I'll get up with her.
That's
And
what I
then
did with Overwatch.
I'll play it until I have to go to work, and then I'll get off and then do it. And then like I did like 2 of the Daedric missions while I was asleep. And by that I mean I would be playing and then I would pass out, and then like I'd be running into a wall and I'd be like, all right, well let's make a left turn. I pass through like 2 doors, fall asleep. But like I said, had the poison armor, and I have like 10% damage reflection, so people would, and my heavy armor of course is 100%, so like people would be attacking me and they would just be dying. So like I would wake up to like 3 dead bodies and I'm like, I see that the fools tried to take my life, and then like continue on in the game because people just couldn't kill me.
I fell asleep playing Werewolves Within the other night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is weird falling asleep playing a VR game. That's weird. But it was like in between a match. And it was just set up, and it was one of those things where when you play Werewolves Within, it's 3 hours like that. And it was the middle of the night, and I just fell asleep for like 10 minutes. And just wake up, and they booted me back to the menu, and I'm sitting there in that town, and I wake up, and I'm like...
Did it freak you out?
Yeah, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, where the fuck am I? Because you're looking around, it's like this town that's like this weird art style, like the cricket buildings, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then you're like, oh yeah, this is VR.
And then you tried to take it off and you realized
You were
weren't
just
wearing
around
a
Your
VR.
face.
This is where I live now. Yes.
You are in this world.
That clown movie.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
That movie was fantastic.
Dude, I liked that movie a lot. I forget who I said Oh, this is off topic of the clown movie, but some kid came in. Well, he came in the other day, and he was like talking to his mom, and he's like, "I don't know why these games that are trash are just they're still so expensive." He said, I think he said like Madden, and I was like, "Yeah, don't nobody give a fuck about Madden." And he's like, "Oh, Doom, I heard Doom was trash too." I was just like, boy, bring that ass here. Like I
I thought Doom was.
oh, dude, I was
Super fun.
I was like half an inch away from embarrassing him
You
from
were
him in
ready
front
to
of his mom.
destroy something.
Madden. Fuck Madden. That is the perfect game to say that if it's broken, like, when do you stop playing it?
Oh, dude, that's with any
Fucking Madden.
that's with almost any sports related game like 2K.
Not to the level of Madden. Not to the level of Madden. Where you're sitting there in your fucking 2-minute drill at the end of the game, and you're like, I've got no timeouts left, and I'm down, and I need to get the score. But Madden's like, fuck that, I want to show you stats. So, like, after the play, I'm going to show you how many yards you've passed you. But it's not right because there's a bug in the franchise mode where it tells you every week that last week you had 0 stats all the way down the line. And, like, look at how much better he's doing this week. It's like, really? I'm not because I'm down by, like, 7 points. And I just want to get to the end zone, but you're showing me stats and the clock is still running.
Done.
In the 2-minute drill, they would always do this, like, presentation crap, and the clock would still run. And there's nothing I could do. No timeouts, nothing. So I would lose because they were showing me fucking stats. And they would never fix it. They still haven't fixed it.
Wow.
They have bugs that, like, the game doesn't even know the rules of the game. Where I'm sitting there, like, in overtime, I fumbled the ball, but I recover my own fumble. But the game considered it a change of possession. And I lost because I didn't get a touchdown or something like that. I, like, kicked a field goal, and the game was like, oh, yeah, but no, it's over because there was a change of possession. It's like, no, the other team never got the ball.
No football.
Okay.
Fools.
Fuck Madden.
I just
Don't play broken games.
I just know
Don't play broken games.
I just know sports games like 2K12, NBA 2K12. I didn't play it, but I remember watching John and Kevin play it.
Well, online is broken.
You could like guaranteed alley-oop it every time. Like if you did it just right, they couldn't stop you. Like if you're LeBron James and you want to dunk the ball and someone tosses that rock in the air, that rock's coming down.
Yeah, sports games, but especially Madden. Fuck Madden.
Is there any other topics you want to talk about? Pretty much covered the little news that's happened since last time.
No, I think we hit it pretty good. I really want to see Rogue One now. Let's go by myself like a
We've had
fucking
96
nerd.
hours.
No,
You might as well not see it now.
I know, right?
I mean,
You can just go on Facebook.
I say this with anything when it involves spoilers. Like if you were worried about spoilers for something that's like a major blockbuster film, you should have seen it the first day. That's why I was like,
I can agree with that.
that's why I was like, you're okay to do spoilers, because if I didn't see it within 24 hours of the film being released, then that's my own fault. I'm a grown man. I had every opportunity to go purchase a movie ticket.
This is my Facebook profile picture.
Oh, okay. On that note, send us comments, questions, topics you want us to cover. Our next episode is going to be Game of the Year, so it's probably going to be a meaty one.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Usually is.
You said meaty. How could it not be fun?
Penis.
How long do you think I can keep it like that before something is noticed?
Probably a decent amount of time. But
Give it the
Get out of here.
Madden 17.
Guess I should play. Fuck that. Destiny.
I was gonna say Destiny 17.
Skyrim.
I gotta go through and see
Scrim.
what all I played this year.
I usually write down everything that I've played.
Guess I should go through and make the list of all the games I haven't played and get on that. Redbox is gonna be my friend.
On break.
I'll play all the games.
Well, this has been episode 46 of the Geek Gossip Podcast. This is Vaughn.
Joey.
Adrian.
Chris.
And we are out. Any weird noises?
I feel like I thought of one, and then I was like,
Do it.
do it.